everyone. I'm teacher. Today we are going to make a presentation about the differences between gamification and game-based learning. My friend Hector is going to start with gamification.
Hello, partners and professors. The gamification can make learning more enjoyable and can increase in students. Engagement in class incorporates gaming elements into learning activity. Gamification can lead to better learning outcomes such as improved test scores and increased knowledge retention. The information technology revolution, which touches practical areas of human activity, has caused drastic changes in life skills, communication, codes, and platforms for information exchange. It has accelerated the winning of the generation gap with respect to traditional teaching learning strategies in the classroom. There is a growing variety of innovation tools at your disposal that can help you reconnect with your students. In addition, you will learn to help to improve their level of participation and commitment toward learning according to their interests, preference, and expectations. Gamification is one of these tools we have gathered instead both the main concepts and elements that you will need to apply it successful in your class.
Okay, now I am going to continue with game-based learning. Game-based learning is a methodology that it can be used in the classrooms, but the games are not made with the purpose of the classes itself. Game-based learning is when games are used to facilitate learning. This learning is often related to the learning of concepts to enhance cognitive knowledge or the learning through the simulation activities to enhance students' cognitive, behavioral, and affective abilities. Both of them have been used for decades in post-secondary education, and game-based learning and the gamification of learning continue to be a trend in higher education. Okay, now we are going to talk about the implementation and adaptation to our context. We are going to start with gamification.
We can determine it is necessary to implement gamification in different activities that we develop during your regular class in order to motivate your class. To adapt this trend into your methodology, it's necessary to take into account the possibilities that students have access to the tools that we grant them. What is gamification in the classroom? Gamification in the classroom is a strategy with incorporation of games elements such as goals, challenges, rewards, etc. to promote interest, creativity, collaboration, and healthy competition among participants. The game is one of the first experiences of construction of the meanings. It is an activity all as man. During the childhood, it was allows discovering the world with interest and curiosity. Factors recognized as fundamental catalysts in the learning process.
Okay, now I'm going to talk about implementing game-based learning. Um, Game-based learning is very similar to gamification, but the main difference is that the games that are used in the game-based learning classes are not made with the purpose of educational resource, but they are just implemented as an activity that can improve or boost students' skills in different areas. Game-based learning can be used as a tool to enhance students' skills while learning a given topic. In game-based learning, it is important to determine the goals of the topics, not to get lost in the development of the games. There are many different possibilities when it comes to implementing game-based activities in the classes. Any option that is chosen, we should take into account the context and the needs for each group. Finally, we are going to talk about the advantages and disadvantages of both trends. We are going to start with the advantages of gamification.
Advantage in learning different ways and improve different abilities. To create knowledge, gamification is a useful tool to reconnect the students with the challenge, experiment, and adventure in the learning process. Additionally, gamification in the classroom provides the benefits and such as the student assumes control over his core learning process, freedom to make mistakes without negative consequences, tolerance for failure and frustration, resilience. Increasing motivation, reading the class topics. Strengthen your decision-making capacity based on available information. Disadvantage, yeah, a lot of time called they spend playing but not learning. No how the student might have access to technology and need to implement these activities and others.
Okay, now I'm going to talk about the advantages of game-based learning. One advantage is that students can have fun at the same time they are learning. You can boost interest in students if they become attractive for them to solve the activities. Also, it is important to notice that when students are motivated by the use of different elements that can be in form of games, they feel more attracted to the process that they are performing. Now, some disadvantages of game-based learning. It could be that because the games are not thoroughly elaborated to be developed in academic context, could lead to failure or not completely accomplish the goals proposed for the academic purpose. It comes in the way that students may feel frustrated if they don't fulfill the goals of the game rather than the goals of the activity itself. Okay, so that is our presentation. Thank you so much and see you next time.
Thank you. Bye.